Eddie, a former Marine Corps captain, sits alone in his truck outside the veterans office, frustrated and at his wits' end after failing to find work. Desperate, he lists his impressive credentials to the admin: 3 tours, Purple Hearts, and a background in Space Marines. He even jokes about being willing to clean up Dookie if necessary. The admin points out that his psych evaluation is incomplete, but Eddie insists he's fine. Despite his pleas, there are no positions available, leaving Eddie dejected. Eddie tries again, explaining that he's struggling to support his wife and child, who are 2 states away. He's willing to work for minimum wage despite his rank, but the admin still refuses. Just as Eddie prepares to leave, the admin meets him outside and offers him a job as a mall security guard, overlooking his psych eval. Meanwhile, U.S. Marshals are preparing to transport a key witness across state lines in a 3-vehicle convoy. Their journey begins without incident, but trouble looms on the horizon. By nightfall, the convoy is still on the move when rain begins to pour, cutting off their signals. The agents soon realize they're being followed. Suddenly, the lead vehicle hits a spike strip and flips over, throwing the convoy into chaos. A group of heavily armed attackers ambushes them, initiating a brutal gunfight. Outnumbered, the convoy leader orders the terrified witness to flee into the nearby woods. The attackers kill the agents, but when they discover the witness is missing, they swiftly clean up the scene and vanish. That same evening, Eddie moves into his new apartment and calls his wife, Valerie, to share the news about his job. She expresses concern over his PTSD, but Eddie reassures her he's fine and asks her to kiss their daughter, Sylvie, for him. At the mall, Eddie meets a young guard, Vance, who checks his paperwork and gives him a quick tour. Eddie is introduced to the other guards: Mason, Ruby, who spends more time drinking than working, and Johnny, who seems more interested in his appearance than his duties. Eddie observes the mall's weak security measures, but keeps his thoughts to himself. As Eddie begins his patrol, a storm causes a power outage, but the backup system quickly restores the lights. While near the entrance, Eddie notices a small girl banging on the doors and lets her in. The girl, panicked and exhausted, warns that men are coming before collapsing in his arms. Eddie brings her to the lounge, where the other guards gather. They try calling the police, but find the lines and cell signals are down. Shortly after, a man claiming to be the girl's father arrives, but Eddie grows suspicious. The man, Charlie, offers $1.2 million for the girl, but Eddie refuses, sensing danger. Charlie warns Eddie that his decision will lead to everyone's death. Outside, Charlie's men prepare to storm the mall, while Eddie hides the girl, Jami, in a secure room and reassures her. The guards make rudimentary defenses, preparing for an inevitable assault. The attackers begin their siege, disabling vehicles in the parking lot. Eddie and the guards use clever tactics to fend off the attackers, including setting traps and fighting back with makeshift weapons. Despite their efforts, the situation grows increasingly dire. Vance, Ruby, and Mason each face harrowing challenges as they attempt to survive and protect Jamie. The attackers breach the mall, leading to intense confrontations. Eddie's military training shines as he takes down several attackers, but the group suffers heavy losses. Charlie raises the stakes by offering his men bonuses to kill Jamie. Amid the chaos, Jamie proves resourceful, using a remote-controlled car as a distraction. As the situation escalates, Eddie devises a plan to destroy Charlie's communication truck, which is jamming their signals. He risks everything, including a dangerous motorcycle stunt, to take out the truck and restore communication. Meanwhile, Charlie closes in on Jamie, using psychological tactics to manipulate her. In a climactic showdown, Eddie confronts Charlie. With Jamie's quick thinking and Eddie's resilience, they manage to take Charlie down. The ordeal ends as U.S. Marshals arrive, ensuring Jamie's safety. In the aftermath, Eddie survives his injuries and is hailed as a hero. Jamie is reunited with her uncle, and Eddie returns home to his wife and daughter, finally finding peace and closure.